Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I want to talk about Kill Team possible expansions. So for those of you who don't know, in the Rogue Trader box we basically had confirmation of a forthcoming expansion at some point called Kill Team Commanders. Now that is pretty much all we know. We don't know what it is or when it's coming. Obviously I'm going to speculate, so that is all the information in this video. The rest is pretty much just my opinion, so do keep that in mind. But I want to talk about what these expansions could be and what they're likely to be. So of course it could be an expansion like Rogue Trader with new factions, models and a starter set, like a set like that. I think that's unlikely because of the name. It's not I don't want to say generic, it's like a generic name is what I'm trying to say. It's not Rogue Trader or Plasma Fantastic or something stupid like that. It's literally like straight to the point, like General's Handbook, straight to the point. Now, as I said, we don't know what it is. I think people have speculated, and I sort of agree with this. The way that it is in the Rogue Trader box, in the book, it talks about commanders, and it talks about how it'll be in the expansion, which sort of implies that they maybe expected them to be at the same time, and maybe GW's own timeline has been out of sync somehow. Not sure how relevant that will be, but it could be to help determine what your opinion is on what it is. So like, what could it be? I said it could be like a Rogue Trader box. It could be something like the starter box, but with the Kill Team Commanders expansion. And if that's the case, the key question is going to be, is the Kill Team Commanders expansion book and the rules usable in standard tournaments and events? That's going to be the key question to all of this, but in my personal opinion, because if it is, then for me it needs to just be a book. If these rules are like, if I can, obviously if you play just your friends, play whatever you want, nobody minds, it's completely okay. You can say what you're going to play with and what you're not going to play with. If I go and play events and they have like a standard setup, then obviously I need to, I don't have a choice. I need to go with what they say, otherwise I don't play. Fair enough. But you can see that sort of forces my hand a little bit. Now, imagine if there's extra rules for Kill Team in a book that you just don't have, but your opponent does, and they're utilising that to beat you. That's sort of okay if it's just a book. If that book comes in packaged with models and there's no alternative, that would be a problem. But as I said, that's pure speculation. I don't want to think that that's exactly what I think is going to happen, because I don't, and I don't want it to appear negative, because GW seem to be treating Kill Team with a decent amount of respect for what it is and for the consumer, and I really appreciate that from them. So yeah, like it could be like a starter set with models and a book that adds rules. Now even the rules, the Kill Team Commander rules and stuff, could actually just be like for campaigns. It might be something that you can't use in your normal games, or you have to agree it beforehand, something like that. If it's something like you have to agree it beforehand, tournaments generally won't let you use it, because you could always just say yes or no, or tournaments themselves will just make a decision on that. What I personally think it is that it's going to just be a book, and it'll be a book that includes stuff for campaigns, and it'll be a book that includes commands, tactics, and new rules for like specialists and that kind of thing. And depending on when they release something like that, I'm more than happy with that. I would possibly like to see them include like new points in that, and maybe do it once every year, so it's more like a General's Handbook kind of thing. But if they did these like once every 3 months and they just added a few extra rules, and it was a cheapish book, I'd be okay with that. The key problem then would be you don't want it to blow too much. The beauty of Kill Team to me is that it's 40k light, and I know you might be offended by that if you see it that way, but I really like the simplicity of Kill Team rather than the complexity of 40k. It's one of the reasons I enjoy Kill Team. And if they keep bloating up the rules, then that unique sort of selling point goes away. So as I said, I'm okay with it, depending on the frequency of it. I do think like Rogue Trader, that probably came a little bit too soon after release. For example, Rogue Traders came after Kill Team like a month and a half. Yeah, it's nice to have the new factions and stuff like that. But I feel like we need to give consumers a bit of time to settle in. And GW's marketing strategy or release schedule can be quite aggressive, but that's a good thing and a bad thing. It means you know it's supported, you know what you're getting, and that kind of thing. The alternative, last thing it could be, would be just a book, but it's only optional, or it could actually include models, but it's only optional stuff, like a kill zone, basically. And if that's the case, then I wouldn't buy it, and I don't care about it. So that would be okay. I sort of expected and hoped that we were going to go down like the general handbook kind of thing. That we would get maybe like once a year, we would have rules changes, upgrades, points changes, clarifications, erratas, all that kind of stuff, all in one book. That's what I hoped we would get. And seeing the Kill Team Commanders expansion sort of suggests that might not happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So I know this is a lot of talk for something we don't know about, and I always err on the side of caution, and I don't want to seem like pessimistic all the time. You know, I'm very much aware that basically we don't know what it is, and for me to start saying it might be non-optional rules in a box that includes miniatures, and me to then say that that would be not appropriate is a reach. You know what I mean? Like, it's not true. There's no evidence to back it up. So I'm not going as far as that. I personally think it will just be a book with rules that you can use at events, and that will be about it. Some people will complain about that, but I think as long as they do it at appropriate times, like maybe what I said, once every 6 months, just to freshen the game up, adding in the occasional new faction, that'd be okay. If this was me picking the way I would do it, I would add in new factions every so often and do a General's Handbook, maybe every year, maybe even every 6 months, a digital one, maybe like the beta rules or something. But I'm not in charge. I'm not sure everybody would agree with me in that sense. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? What do you think it's going to be? Obviously, we don't know. So unless you do know, if you do know and you want to personally message me, then please do. I would like to give a big shout out to the Discord and my Facebook group. We have some really fun chats in the Discord and on Facebook. We're an ever-growing community. So if you want to join me there's always links in the description below. If you like this video, do like. I'm sorry if I'm a bit rambly and a little bit different than normal. I'm in my kitchen. I don't have my computer in front of me, and without my notes, I'm useless, and it's terrible. Hopefully not terrible. If you like the video, do like the video. If you're not already subscribed, then please do. Covering Kill Team, Legion, X-Wing, that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm having a good time doing it. Thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon. That really does help. There'll be a link here if you want to join me there as well. I do appreciate that. Have a most beautiful day, and goodbye. Goodbye.